teachers. We're connecting the holy Rabbi Shimon to the holy Arizal, to the holy Baal Shem Tov. You know, the Baal Shem Tov says, really it's all about connecting. When you really know what it's about, it's you connect your love to divine love. You connect the things in the world that awaken you to becoming awakened. A lot of people are fighting all the time, non-stop. They have a battle. The battle is raging within us. But the Baal Shem Tov says once we realize that everything in its source is divine, we begin to see the very yearnings and desires that we call temptations as really being a message from God to be tempted to just be passionately in love with God. And that's really what the Zohar is all about. It's all about Shir Hashirim. It's all about the Song of Songs. It's all about loving, confusing love of people with the love of God. Meaning it gets to the point where your love of God is so intense that everything that you love in this world is just able to somehow be channeled into this kind of deep reservoir that contains the all, which is ultimately what we're trying to do. So we're now going to open up. We have 3 booklets that we gave out. I want to first, before we begin, just a couple words, including a word from our sponsors. Tonight has been helped out and helped sponsor by Cheryl and David Wasserman. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
And it's been done in memory of their mother, Sarah Ita Bas David's second yard site. It's our actual yard site on Lag BaOmer. So the neshama should have an aliyah.
Amen.
The discourse of the
Amen.
is hopefully going to be amazing.
Amen.
Not just learning, but really
Yeah.
really deep stuff.
Thank you. Amen.
And hopefully our neshamas will be open.
Amen.
And the neshama will continue on its way. I also wanted to mention that we made this Haggadah. We used it for the first time last year, and she's not even here. She's at the door, but I want to help Melissa.
Sure.
I want to mention her for her help in this. I also wanted to thank Julie with the food, as well as Peter and Reina in the kitchen, and everybody else, and of course Levi. And you want to acknowledge who's here with you, Levi, please. And there's more on the way. Who else is here in the band? Okay. I thought there was like 10 more people.
Sounds like.
Okay, so the second thing we're going to do is we're going to do a reading from the Idrazuta. I have to thank Danny Matt. It's from his edition. Please go out and buy some of his Zohars. And the third thing is the Bar Yochai, the famous Bar Yochai. We'll do that at the end at some point. So we're going to start in the middle of page 7. This is taken from the Zohar regarding the seven weeks between Pesach and Shavuos.
Which book has one?
This is the book, the first book, the book with the picture, the one that says Carlebach Shul, Lag BaOmer Haggadah. Middle of page 2. Over there we find a count 7 days. 7 weeks are the weeks of purification. Just as a wife awaits the 7 days before she's reunited with her husband, so to the dew that descended on the camp in the evening, the 40 years in the desert. It says on the camp, it doesn't say when, that represents the purification of the dew. Just a side note, today is also a day where we realize that all the physical elements that when we go outside are so beautiful are manifestations of their divine spiritual counterparts. That's another theme throughout the Zohar. So the dew revives us every morning, and the dew on the spiritual level revives us and gives us a new chance to be reconnected. This dew descended when Israel came close to Mount Sinai. Then this dew descended in its perfection, purified, and caused the dirtiness to end, and Israel to be united with the King. Sometimes when we wake up in the morning, it doesn't matter how bad the day was the day before, we just feel the dew. We feel a new, beautiful day, so full of potential, so full of love. God gave us that gift before we gave God the Torah. No matter how bad it was in Egypt, He sent us this dew that cleansed us from the inside. I bless everybody. They should wake up in the morning and feel that beautiful dew in their soul. As we get older. It means more than just not to cast us aside. Don't let our hearts become old, even if our bodies become old. Pure hearts. Kaddish Bekir, renew within me.
Hey
rest of the Zohar talks about the importance of staying up all night. That's why we stay up all night. It's based on this Zohar. And just one thing the Zohar says is that on Shavuos, it's a marriage. It's a marriage between us and God. It's also a marriage between the written Torah and the oral Torah. And on a certain level, what that also means is the Torah as it's commanded, and the Torah as I'm receiving it, as each one of us is receiving it. And they have to come closer together. So when we say for the sake of the Holy One, blessed be He, and the Shekhinah, the Holy One, blessed be He, is the transcendent, that which is, I don't have the vessels for inside of myself. But the Shekhinah is the God within me, the God that I can feel and connect to. So on the night of Shavuos, it's the night before a wedding. Page 4. On the top, Rabbi Shimon would say to his companions, other than the Chevron. Shalom. Spend the night preparing the bride by beautifying her with adornments. Bina, the divine understanding, prepares her son to groom. Prepares her son. Different sefirah, starting from Chesed, which the beginning, Chesed Sheba Chesed, is unconditional love, all the way through Malchut Sheba Malchut. People can shut their ringers on their phone. All the way through the kind of completion each week we say a prayer in the Sephirah, the Ta'arenu, to purify us with your holiness. The goal here tonight is to experience a little bit of the holiness of the Zohar, which is to help us on each of our own individual journeys of taking a little bit of the divine holiness, maybe a little more than a little bit, and just shining it into our souls. and helping us in our own lives to purify us ever so slightly. Here's a beautiful story on page 6, one of my favorites in the Zohar. I'll read the paragraph about for the Zohar, and then I'll just go straight into the Zohar with a little niggin. The Zohar tells us that the Torah has many layers. Some people see only the outer layer, the pshat. They focus on the more straightforward meaning of the Torah, the halacha of observance. But the inner part of the Torah is crying out to be revealed. The Zohar offers a parable. A young man wanders on the streets. Or here, in the back. Keep going, keep going. Okay, we're going to start with the song. Come sit up here. Sit here. No, sit over here. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with this song. I mentioned that there's so much in the Zohar from Shir Hashirim, from the Song of Songs. So this is one of the verses that appears right before the Intrazuta, somewhat within the Intrazuta, makes a reappearance. It's verse 2 of chapter 5 of Shir Hashirim. Ani yeshena b'libi, I'm asleep but my heart is awake. Kol dodi dofek, the sound of my beloved is knocking. Hiskili achosi, open up for me, my sister, my beloved. Yonati tamati. Shiroshi nemalatal, again with the dew. that she is there. But the maiden knows that her beloved is wandering in the street looking for her. So she makes a small opening from the hidden room, just for a moment, so that her beloved can see her. Nobody else on the street sees or has any idea that this is happening. Only he knows. And his heart and his soul and his insides go after her. He knows that because she loves him, she showed herself to him for a moment, to awaken his love. So too with the Torah, she does not reveal herself except to the one who loves her. The Torah knows that the wise of heart is circling near her home all day waiting for her. So she reveals herself just a little bit from her chamber and makes a little sign, but then immediately withdraws and conceals herself. Everybody else who is around doesn't even realize this is happening.
Except Rachel.
But his heart and his soul
And Eileen.
and his insides are drawn
How could I
after
get better than
her.
this? How could I get better than this?
Therefore the Torah reveals herself
You're
and
the best
conceals
in
herself
life, in lifetime. You don't
and
understand.
goes to her beloved with love. Herself with a remez. If he understands, good. If he does not, she sends a messenger to tell that fool to come a little closer so that I can talk to him. As it says in Mishlei, whoever is simple, let him turn in here. At first he speaks to her as if from the other side of a parochet, a thick veil that she spread. She speaks to him the way he's used to until slowly begins to understand. This is a level of Russia. Later on, she speaks to him through a thinner veil with the words of Achida, endearment. This is Agada. Eventually, he becomes used to visiting her, accustomed to being near her. And she reveals herself face to face, and she speaks all of her inner secrets to him in all the secret ways that were in her heart hidden since the beginning of this time together. And this person is a master of Torah, a man of the house. Because she has revealed to him all of her secrets and has hidden nothing. He can understand the meanings of the hints she gave him at the beginning. And he can understand that each word and each letter of the Torah has a meaning. Even the simple meaning of the text is connected to its inner meaning. Therefore, a person needs to be careful to run after the Torah, to be a lover of Torah. Says Kabbalah is not the book. It's awesome. The Baal Shem Tov says everybody thinks Kabbalah is like a type of Jewish learning, and there are those who study it and those who don't. He says no. Kabbalah is a relationship. When you're in a relationship like this young man and this maiden that nobody sees, it's not a book. It's love. It's real depth. It's real deep stuff. He says the secret of Kabbalah is the secret of being in a relationship with the divine. It's not the book. The book is a formula. It's like how to date. I could send a robot and program it with a how to date book. It's not love. Not yet. We're working on love for robots, but in the meantime, it's not yet love. So if you're studying Kabbalah, but all it is something you study, then that's not the secret of the Torah. That's the Baal Shem Tov. So now we're going to turn to the beautiful Idrazuta. This is the day of Rabbi Shimon's last day in the world. It's on the right-hand side. Inside it is a world in love itself. And privileged to be here with us is Ravi Kelman. Dr. Kelman's been on the journey. He introduced me to Rabbi Brandwein. let's dive into this really beautiful last day of Rabbi Shimon. It's a very difficult text to study, but if you sing it, it goes right into your heart. You don't have to worry about the mind. We'll bypass the mind. And then the mind, the amazing thing is, the heart understands. The heart understands. The head figures out eventually, catches up with the heart. It has been taught.
Eliyahu. Closer to you. Closer to you.
That's fine. The Zohar, the yellow Zohar. Big by the, yeah. Shimon raised his eyes, saw the house was filled. And Shimon wept and said, the other time when I was in my sick bed, and Pinchas the son of Yair was in my presence, and while I was selecting my place, they extended my life until now. When I returned, fire was whirling in front of me, and it never ceased. Since then, I see that the fire has ceased. The house is filled, meaning anybody can come in without my permission. The next page, double-sided pages, 768. They were sitting down. Reb Shimon opened his eyes, and he saw what he saw. Fire whirled through the house. They all left. Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Abba remained, and the rest of the companions sat outside. Reb Shimon said to Rabbi Elazar, his son, go out and see if Rabbi Yitzchak is here. For he has been my mashkim. I have been mashkim for him. His guarantor. His time is up. Tell him to arrange his affairs and return to me happy as a share. Shimon rose and sat down. He laughed and then aloud saying, where are the companions? Rabbi Elazar rose and brought them in, and they sat before him. Rabbi Shimon raised his hands and offered a prayer, and was joyful, and he said, those companions who were present at the Idra, at the gathering, the threshing house will convene here. They all left. There remained Rabbi Elazar, his son, Rabbi Abba, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi, son of Rabbi Yaakov, and Rabbi Chia. Just then Rabbi Yitzchak entered. Rabbi Shimon said to him, how fine is your share? How much joy is destined to be added to you today? Rabbi Elazar in front of him, and Rabbi Shimon said, "This hour is an hour of favor, and I want to enter without shame into the world that is coming." Now the rabbis say, "Shuv yom echad lifnei motcha," return the day before you die, but it's really meant to say return every day, because you never know what is the day. Every day, you don't want to be embarrassed on that day. Say, what did you do with yourself? Well, I didn't know this day was coming. So he said, finally, I don't want to be embarrassed, but I want even more than not to be embarrassed by my life. I want the day that I go to be the highest tshuva, to be the highest spiritual ascent. I want to come in with grandeur. I'm going to leave with a bang. I want to come in with a great fanfare. I want them to know in the next world, here in the next world, that I'm coming in with the deepest depth of the Zohar being revealed. This is an hour of favor, and I want to enter without shame into the world that is coming. Hear holy words that I have not revealed until now. I wish to reveal the presence of Shekhinah before they say that I departed efficiently. This is why they were concealed in my heart, to enter with them into the world that is coming. There's a mystical tradition that you can't see what you see during your lifetime, but at your death, or the day of your death. And even Moses, it was told, Ki lo yarani ha'adam b'chai. God told him nobody could see me and live. So the Kabbalah, I think the Zohar says, you can't see him when you're alive, but when you die, you could see him. And some of the Kabbalists go further and say, the day you die, you can also see him. And I will arrange you like this. Rabbi Abba will write. Rabbi Elazar, my son, will repeat, and the rest of the companions will meditate in their hearts. Rabbi Abba rose from behind his back. Rabbi Elazar, his son, remained seated. He said to them, rise, my son, for someone else will sit in that place. Somebody from another world. Rabbi Elazar rose, Rabbi Shimon wrapped himself and sat down. 770. He opened saying, hallelujah. You'll find this quote in the Zohar written that people who are not so holy are like they're a little bit dead even when they're alive. But the holiest of peoples, even when the rest of the world says they're dead, they're still alive, because get connected to the infinite in this lifetime. So that's what it's saying here. Certainly so, for those are called dead. For the Blessed Holy One is called living, and he dwells amongst those called living, not with those called dead. At the end of the verse it is written, nor all who go down into Duma, silence, all those who descend to Duma will be drawn into hell. We'll get them afterward. It is different from those called living, for the Blessed Holy One desires their glory.